Here, Tubulum, my name is NoNo, and welcome back to another episode of I, Wani, Hug That Gator. We are just going to continue right along. So, here we go. Damien and Randy were waiting for us at the curb, the older man looking over Olivia with worry. When your friend told us Soph and I were beside ourselves. I'm fine, Randy didn't really hear her, as the instant her car door was open, her legal guardian pulled her up into one hell of a bear hug. Come on, I'll get you kids some hot cocoa. Damien watched on with a smile of relief as his father hauled her over his shoulder and marched into his home. You guys want to stick around? Vinny's still in school, so we'll have the console all to ourselves. It's still pretty early, all things considered. Sure, I'd love to have some hot chocolate right now. Liz? I'd really like to, but the council still needs to prepare the arrangement for Latikins. Well, you know. Maybe I'll come by after if I can. Oh, alright. Well, if you do, I'll make sure there's some cocoa left. Appreciate it. With that, Liz drives off down the street. Come on, let's head inside before we turn into popsicles. Settling into the well-worn couch, I notice a distinct lack of the baronics. Where's Olivia? Randy chimes in from the kitchen, busy making himself an old-fashioned kettle. She wanted to rest on her own bed now, boys. Give her some time. No one can resist hot cocoa during weather like this, especially how I make it. Never had home-brewed hot chocolate, but if it's anything like his cooking, then it must be some good stuff. After a few minutes, Randy comes out with a tray. Here you guys go. He passes around a few Christmas-themed mugs labeled with the family's names and leaves the last one on top of a nearby drawer. You're gonna have to be Vinny for a bit. You cool with that? Ha! Yeah, thanks, Randy. Man, you look cold. Were you out there long? It's true. By the snow on my jacket's melted and my clothes are chilly and soaked. Feel free to take a load off until you warm up. I'll be in my bedroom resting. Holler if you need anything else. He gives Damien a pat on the back and leaves. The mug is hot to the touch, but it's a welcoming feeling to warm up my icy fingers. I take a moment to gently blow air on the beverage to cool it down before moving it to my lips. Yeah, it's pretty good. Damien is chugging his. He finishes the swig and sets the glass down. That must have been half of it in one go. Well, there are multiple ways to enjoy anything. After today's events and weather, I really needed this. Another sip, it really is helping warm me up. I didn't even notice how cold I was. Hey, Vinny? Yeah? You good? I'm holding it together, yeah? Still a bit scattered. I don't blame you. Hey, Pop doesn't want you venturing back into the tundra out there. You up for a game or something? He gestures to the entertainment setup. No, but go ahead, I'll watch. Damien thinks for a second, the few gears in his head's turning in conflict. Really, I don't mind. Alright, I'll get it set up. Damien sets his game up, searching several mismatched cases for the right CD and giving the screen a good thump to get it to work properly. Grabbing a controller, he presses on the X-Rocks 1, selecting something called Rock Ring ODHG, and settles down into the deep groove of the couch. This one's my favorite in the series. After a minute or two of gathering a full lobby, the Dino picks his glass up and begins his virtual rampage. Only a minute in and he manages to get the first kill. I'm just a bit burnt out for the day. Getting pretty tired, actually. Hey, Inko. Yeah? Olivia didn't come back with her wheelchair. Did something happen? Yeah, she isn't taking Latikin's passing well. Man. Well, I'm glad you were there for her. My eyes remain on the screen, lost in the vibrant violence as some in-game announcer proclaims Damien's digital massacre. On his part, Damien's frills wavered like crazy, and it looks as if his arms also wanted to wave in victory. You want to talk about it? I don't want to take up your time, Damien. Come on, man. We've known each other a while now. You can be honest with me. Not sure where to begin, really. Latikin was really cool. I don't really have the words for it. Somehow I think I'm unqualified to speak on it compared to Olivia. She knew him better than I ever did. He was important to her, yeah. We talked about it for a bit before Liz picked us up, but I'm worried I'm not much help. Well, that's what we're here for, right? To help each other out in any way we can. Best thing to do is to be ourselves for her. She'll eventually go through the motions her own way. Yeah, that makes a surprising amount of sense. I slowly look up from my mug over to Damien. And you make it sound so easy, too. He briefly meets my gaze before returning his attention to the screen. I know I'm not the smartest guy around here, but I do know Olivia. We don't share parents, but she's still my older sister. Older sister? Her birthday is first, duh. And knowing Olivia, she'll be able to manage. But how are you managing? Me? Trying to sort the maelstrom of emotions running rampant in my head is overwhelmed, I guess. I wish I'd gotten to learn more from him. Olivia could probably recite some of the lessons by heart. She probably could. I remember the first time she got to work with some special paints in this class. She was just ecstatic. She came home a mess, covered all over in blues and greens and leaving tracks behind wherever she went. When Mom saw her carpet vandalized, she threw her right in the backyard and hosed her off. I ended up joining in because it looks fun. Eyeing the hallway leading to her room, a part of me wants to see if she's alright. That part simply wants to be closer to her again. Damien looks back again, the unspoken question clearly written across his arched brows. What about you and Olivia? Speaking of, I may have told Olivia that I liked her. About time. Huh? What? You two have stuck together like glue ever since the summer barbecue. I mean, come on. Anyone with half a brain could see what you're becoming more than friends. All the signs were there. Although it does worry me a little. Why's that? Well, think about it. Your teacher just passed away, you're both wrecks right now. What if that's just that suspension bridge thing? I don't know, man. It only just happened. You're right. Sorry. I do like Olivia. I know that. I guess I'm a little scared of the future. How so? There's just a bunch of things I still don't get about Olivia. Or maybe friendship in general. When I first arrived at St. Hammond, I really never had friends like you guys. So to suddenly be involved in all this, I don't know. I think I get it. Yeah, things can be a little dramatic around here. One way to put it. What's so different about your old friends? Never really had any. Well, that's not true. I had friends, but they were more like day friends, you know? Classmate friends, yeah. I got a bunch. And your folks constantly moving means that they only ever lasted like a year tops. Yeah, am I a day friend? No way. You come to our parties and everything. In fact, look. He points to the subtle discolored patch on my jeans where Vinny's acid punch had failed to completely wash it off. We got you marked. Thanks. It means more than you know. Ha! To be honest, I always had a good feeling about you. Thought you'd be a decent addition to the group, but to see Olivia actually start opening up around you 2 months ago, that was unthinkable. After all those years, I was trying alone, you know? Made it all worthwhile, not to take credit or anything. I'm just really glad to see her happy after so long. Moments of Olivia and I flash together in my head, good, bad, and everything in between. It all culminates in a single image of her staring up at me with that smile of hers. Me too. Hard to believe that she's been dealing with so much inside when I first met her. Well, Inko, some people have a lot of problems they hide from the world. For example... He puts the controller down and shifts to look at me in the eye. His character is instantly sniped. That hot chocolate gave me a tummy ache. I'm being serious. That was serious. It can be little things like that. Little stresses that add up. Now it doesn't bother me, but someone else? It might just ruin them. If you're trying to get with Olivia, I'll give you a nickel's worth of advice my dad told me. If a girl you like asks you to wear your shirt at 2 a.m. and to bake cookies, she's an absolute keeper. That's some pretty good advice. Just don't break her heart, yeah? Wouldn't dare think of it. Damien offers me a fist bump, to which I happily reciprocate. A door creaks open. Both our heads turn back at the sound. She kneels in the doorway to her room, leaning against the side railing. Damien nods to me and continues his game. The ambient gunfire and controller clicks fills the silence. I take the hint and stand up, slowly approaching Olivia as she tries to shuffle down the hallway. She is completely upright and a display of pure confidence. Even her tail is upright, as if to amplify her dignity. I'll have to tell her how cute that is when I'm not so drained. I wordlessly offer her a hand and she accepts. With her on my shoulder, I walk the both of us towards the living room couch and plop down on it with her. Oh, here. I lean forward to grab her coker from the coffee table. Most of the warmth was gone by now. I guess I can go warm it up in the microwave for her. She's tugging my arm. Come on, it's cold. She starts leaning harder against me to keep me from getting all the way up. Alright, cheese. I give her the mug and she goes to start sipping instantly. I was gonna warm... My voice dies as I feel her settle against my legs with a relaxed hum. Her body relaxes more and I'm allowed to sit up enough for her to settle in by my shoulder. She's warm. The two of us watch Damien's game continue. Olivia continues slipping down her drink, letting one hand free from the mug. Her hand finds a way to mine and our fingers curl around each other's. Damien plays a few more games. I don't really keep track of how well he does. He finishes one last match and yawns, stretching back over the couch. Alright, that's probably enough for me. I'm gonna get going. Give you two some space. Okay. Damien gets up from the couch and slides his controller near the cabinet where it lied before. On his way out, he stops to look at me right in the eyes. Hey, keep things chill, man. Don't do anything stupid, alright? Yeah. He nods and heads off to the depths of the house, and just like that, it's quiet once more. Is she asleep? Hey. I don't think you've seen my room before, have you? Not at all. Would you want to see it? I'd love to. I watch her blush. Am I getting good at this? Okay, just walk me there. Similar to before, I help Olivia off the couch and we shuffle our way towards her room. Wow, I'm not sure what I was expecting Olivia's room to look like, but I'm surprised. It's the air that hits me first, a strange mix of a heavy, fake floral candle trying its best to cover up the most nostalgic scent of art supplies. Band, posters, and paintings of dinosaurs cover a lot of her wall space like the room is her own personal canvas. Her desk sat beneath the window. Again, what space that wasn't covered by faded-looking paper was instead covered in dried-up paints. Right next to that, a dresser holding up a decades-old television and retro gaming consoles. All in all, it reminds me of the rooms they'd show in older high school movies. So where do you wanna... Just on the floor's fine. I gently lowered Olivia to the floor, letting myself sit cross-legged next to her in the process. So, what do you think? I think it suits you. Figured you wouldn't have any chairs. I got this really soft rug and a beanbag chair over there. She gestures to a beat-up lump in the corner near a large ramp. Olivia pulls something off her bed. It's a laptop open to a music program. But I don't recognize any of these songs or bands or albums. That's a pretty big track list. What music do you listen to? I'm sort of a closeted metalhead. Whenever I'm alone, I put on some full blast while I do chores or art. Gatorhead, Superdeath, Iron Tomb, you name it. What do you listen to? Please let us get in. Don't lock us away. Mumble rap. I listen to mumble rap. That is the appropriate fucking response to that. If that scratches your brain, then... Anyway, my dad was super into heavy metal when I was a kid, and he got me into it. When Damien and I would be playing out in the yard and his mom would be making lunch, our dads would be in the garage blasting heavy metal while they worked on the car. Working on cars? Yep, my dad and Uncle Randy would Randy would fix up some cars. She clears her throat. Huh, I think that's the first time I heard you call him Uncle Randy. Yeah, I call him that sometimes, along with Auntie Sophia. You call him Auntie Sophia? Your right hand comes off? What are you... Olivia lunges over to chomp at my hand, and I have to take a moment to check my fingers just in case. Hey, I was joking! So was I. But yeah, I listen to a lot of this. You want to hear any? She offers me the trackpad. Anything I see, huh? Say, what kind of music is B flat? Music is a little bit lame, actually. Wait here, there's actually something else. Something else? Something nobody else gets to see. I'm gonna show you my chest. What? Here it is, look. Olivia holds out a small wooden box. There are 2 rusted metal latches that have long since aged past their use. I can't quite see it well in the dim lighting, but I think if I were to hold it up in the sunlight, it'd be a thin layer of glitter glue coating the whole thing. It's also been painted carefully, with very thoughtful attentions to the tones. What could even be inside? Honestly, no guess has come to mind. Could be anything. What are you waiting for? Open it. I carefully open the lid. Inside is Olivia's chest. I mean, the box is filled with various baubles and trinkets. What is all this? It's like my own little hoard. I've been saving up lots of little things through the years. Nobody else has ever seen it. She holds out the box for me to take. It's heavier than it looks. This must be some high-quality material. With the box in hand, I sit on the edge of the bed. Olivia manages to crawl her way up to the bed to sit beside me. She reaches inside to grab... a paintbrush? A very important paintbrush. Olivia's lips turn upward slowly as each bristle of the brush flicks away from her thumb. Though she averts her eyes from mine, I can see the green of her scaly cheeks turn red. Sorry, just got sentimental for a moment. This was the first brush I ever had. Dad gave it to me on my 5th birthday. Her tone falters lightly. Dad always asked me to make him little drawings, and every time I finished one and gave it to him, he'd tell me it looked amazing. I could barely draw a circle back then, but he'd still gush over them, and... She shakes her head. I think he put them in some scrapbook, I don't know, but he kept them all. Olivia looks back to me, her embarrassment turning into bashfulness. Thanks. Oh, we gotta go through the whole chest, I'm assuming. A paintbrush. Oh, I have to click on the things. Okay, I understand. I didn't realize that was the bit. What about this? What are these? Just a couple cool rocks I found. I liked how they looked, so I kept them. I grabbed one of the rocks to give it a closer look. It's gray with thin brown lines all around it and smooth to the touch. It'd be a perfect skipping stone. That one's my favorite. Tastes like salt. How do you know that? I tasted it. What about the lighter? Oh, this used to be Uncle Randy's. Does the engraving mean anything? She shakes her head with a soft smile. Not really. He said it's harder to steal and hide stuff that looks unique. Really, I think he thought it looked cool and not tacky. Well, I think it looks cool. You would. Oh, hey. Whoa, some of these look really cool. Of course they do. I picked all these out myself. Where'd you get these? I pick one up whenever I see one. They're a dime a dozen. Oh, okay, that covers literally all of the rocks. Got it. I'm saving the picture for last. What's that? That's my first tooth. Wow, never seen baby dino teeth up close before. So tiny and sharp. What's that one? That's my 58th tooth. Your teeth grow back? Yours don't? Humans. Oh, I love this little guy. What's that? Let me show you. Olivia rummages through the box and plucks out a tiny hexagonal piece. She then places the plastic ball onto it, and right before my eyes it transforms into this little robotic-looking dinosaur. Ooh, it's a fucking Bakugan! This is a Gabukan! Dinoid, to be exact. I was hooked on the show when I was younger and always asking to get the toys for my birthday and Christmas. Vinny's got the rest of my old collection. This one was always my favorite, so I kept it here. I love those ones. It's a picture of Olivia's chest. I mean, of Olivia at the shore. This was from last summer. Dad had a weekend off and we went swimming together at the beach. Sun was just setting and decided to take a picture since it was a nice view. Plus, I felt pretty. Maybe, we could go together sometime. Maybe, yeah. She places the photo back in the box. Minutes go by as Olivia continues showing off her personal little hoard. All tiny objects that Olivia's chosen to keep with her this whole time, eagerly explaining the significance of every little piece of what she's got locked away in here. By the time we're done, she's resting her muzzle on my shoulders. It's been a long, crazy day. I'm pretty exhausted myself. Can you put this back on the dresser there? Sure. I gently move her off my shoulder, much to her muffled groans of protest. Then I carefully place the box back where it was on the dresser. A small friend pokes his nose curiously through the bars of his cage. Hey, little guy, long time no see. Were you napping? The black and white mirrored replies with a series of squeaks. I like to think he's saying that he's glad to see me. Hey, Olivia. Oh, I'm pretty exhausted too. Bed's definitely off limits. That either leaves the floor or the couch outside. Or, that beanbag chair looks pretty inviting right now. I slump into it, the beads inside scrunching under my weight as I settle in. It's soft. It smells a bit like paint in Olivia's hair. Does Olivia lay on this while she works? As I start to drift off, the last thing my weary eyes take notice of is Olivia sleeping soundly on her bed. With how emotionally draining this whole day has been for us, it's nice to see her looking so peaceful. I begin to stir from my deep, cushiony slumber. It feels like there's something heavy across my stomach, stopping my ability to move. Did someone throw a weighted blanket on me? Actually, it feels like whatever's on me is vibrating. What is it? Olivia? Oh my good lord, she's got a fucking ass, dude. What the hell? She's on top of me! My entire head grows hot as my brain tries to process the situation. As she's, her chest pressing close to mine, I can feel her rhythmic breathing against my body. It's deep, slow, and with a subtle but noticeable rumble with each exhale. If I focused hard enough, I could probably feel her heartbeat. Maybe she sleep-crawled onto the beanbag and I didn't realize that I was on it. I should probably wake her up soon so we get back to bed. Anytime I try to move, her limbs cling together around my body like a boa constrictor. With all but Olivia's tail wrapped around me, any attempt of escaping her hold is fruitless. Olivia looks even more peaceful than she did on the bed. Maybe she does know that I'm here. I'll leave her be. Last thing I want to do is make her a cranky gator. With my free hand, I manage to grab my phone. Checking the time, the digital clock says that it's only 5 minutes past 4:30. Plenty of time to continue my nap. I nestled my head back into the beanbag and let the feeling of Olivia's rumbling lull me back to sleep. This feels nice. My morning alarm lulls me from my sleep and into the world of the living. I ended up spending the night at Olivia's place. Randy and Sophia thought my parents would actually be worried that I stayed with strangers for the night. When my folks hadn't answered their phones, Sophia was left fuming. Randy didn't look as bothered, though, and the two calmed down after I made something up about a business trip. Honestly, I'm probably right anyway. On the upside, I got to spend the night with Olivia. Last night, we even turned the living room into some kind of blanket and pillow fort. It felt childish to huddle up on the floor with Olivia and watch her play old computer games on the outdated TV, but I had more fun than I'd like to admit. But now that Friday's rolled around, it's time for school. Olivia's wheelchair is out of commission until Randy could go get a replacement, meaning she'd have to miss out today. Given the state of both her emotions and wheelchair, it pained me to have to go without her and leave her all alone. Honestly, I don't want to be alone in my cold, empty house either. Miss Sophia is one hell of a cook. Last night she made a delicious meatloaf. Guess I know now how Olivia got her culinary skills from. I don't have a face again! I rise from the couch, pulling the spare blanket off of me. The pains let me sleep on the couch, but at some point Olivia must have dragged herself from her room to join me. As I try my best to get up without waking her, I pull my phone out to check the time. It's about the same time I normally wake up. I'm kind of impressed with my own internal clock. You awake, son? I jump as Randy makes his presence known behind me. His hands idly button up a floral shirt as he motions ahead towards the unconscious Gator lying on the couch. Guess he has an early shift. She wasn't there when I went to sleep. Don't worry, I'm not accusing you. Damien's already up and the kitchen's got cereal. Don't be late for school. I nod in response, taking a few moments to put my jacket and glasses on before heading to the kitchen. Even if I didn't remember where it was, it couldn't be hard to find. Damien's busy slurping honeyed oats like a jet engine. Oh, Iko, you hungry? Before I even reply, the Dilphosaurus jumps out of his chair and makes for a nearby cabinet, procuring another bowl and spoon, but she slides across the table. Thanks? Most important meal of the day, man. Eat up. He gestures to the half-gallon of milk and box of cereal on the table. I take a seat across from Damien and pour myself a bowl. Normally, I'd skip breakfast on account of getting an upset stomach during PE. Then again, that could be my PTSD with the burritos talking. With a spoon in hand, I get a scoop of cereal and begin eating. You know, as far as cereal goes, it's a little bland. If I had to guess, they'd probably avoid any of the colorful, sugar-filled cereals to prevent Vinny from bouncing off the walls. More than he usually does, at least. I continue enjoying my bowl of cereal with less ferocious haste than Damien. It's not long before we're both done and Damien stands up without any intent on cleaning up after himself. Liz should be getting here any minute now, so we can wait outside. Sounds good. I take the time to rinse off our dishware in the sink before anything else. Damien looks a little guilty as he realizes what I'm doing. Finally, with breakfast dealt with, we get ready to head outside into the cold, harsh world. As I grab my backpack by the couch, I take one more glance at my slumbering girlfriend. Oh, okay. As she's taken up the entirety of the couch now, the blanket we shared falling away as she spreads out into the spot I was just at. Should I give her a kiss goodbye? Or maybe fix the blanket for her? Tuck her in properly. Her brow scrunches up and I can see as the goosebumps spreading on her arms. Kissing might be weird right now. Kneeling down, I take the edge of the blanket and bring it back over to her. As I turn away from her, something catches my wrist. It's Olivia's hand. With bleary eyes full of sleep, she looks at me silently asking me to stay. Oh, Liz is here. His words make Olivia tighten her grip. Painfully tight. Ow, hey, I'll be back tonight, okay? She's fighting to stay awake with eyes fluttering and hand grip waning. Olivia. Promise. My hand adjusts the blanket again. Promise. I think she accepts that as she lets herself slump back onto the couch. Here you go! Sorry, had to do something. Damien huddles himself and charges in the cold right to Liz's car. She flings the passenger door open just in time for him to leap in and close it again. I get one last look at Olivia before I shut the door and hurry down as well. Back in the car with the same image as last time! Oh man, the car is nice and warm. Morning, Inko. You really stayed the whole night? Liz starts down the road towards the school. Morning. Yeah, I didn't want to be alone in the snow. Is that why you smell like Damien's deodorant? His clothes are looking pretty raggedy by now, too. Shut up. I'll have to get a shower and a fresh change of clothes as soon as possible. Damien and Liz keep the conversation moving. My mind starts to wander. Man, poor Olivia. Who knows when a replacement chair is coming in? Could be anywhere from a few days to weeks. She's just going to be stuck at home all that whole time, while I still need to go to school. It won't be the same. We won't get to be together in the art room after school, all alone, just talking, making fun of my bad paintings. Just us. Man, wait till Latican finds out we're... Damn it. Well, I guess he knows by now then. Man, it really won't be the same. Yo, Inko, you good? Seem pretty down all of a sudden. I'll be fine. I appreciate you guys, really. This has been the best school year of my life so far. Thanks for being my friends. Hey, you're cool too. What brought this on? Damien. Oh. This last school year has been pretty special. Hanging out with you guys so much has changed in such a short amount of time. Even if things are shaky right now, it's really been worth it. I have high hopes for what's to come. Me too, Liz. Silence falls over the car as Liz takes off. Damien's hand is only occasionally swatting away at the radio knob as we sit in companionable silence. It's nice taking a different scenic route to the school. I keep popping my toe on the ground. I don't know if you can hear that. At school, the atmosphere is undeniably different. It's as talkative and rowdy as ever, but there's less of it. I don't know, maybe it's just my mind playing with me. There's less color as well, like it's been drained just a bit. The layer of snow blanketing everything outside is partially to blame. Man, I was looking forward to making a snowman this year. Maybe I'll be feeling it later. Sully was as stern as ever in his class. Whether it's just that he doesn't care or his own form of respect is beyond me, but his hat was on a little tighter than normal today. Man, too many feelings today. Moping isn't going to get me anywhere. I'm halfway to second period when the question of Latican's replacement strikes me. Will we just be getting a few days off? There's no way they can find a new teacher on such short notice. Class is probably going to be on a hold for a while. His name is still on the door plate when I enter. Inside, many of the students chatter with each other normally. Some nervously glance up to the teacher's desk. I take my normal seat, but the vacant desk Olivia would normally be stationed at. Period's gonna suck without her. Looks like all I have to look forward to today is lunch with Damien and Liz. Man, the whole day is gonna just drag on. I want to go back to Olivia. The bell rings, and an unfamiliar woman in a suit walks in, clipboard in hand. She nods at us all and starts reading mechanically from some script. The substitute tries her best, but there's only so much you can get done on your first day on such short notice with just some papers to read out. Her tone doesn't help, drawn out and empty, and I feel myself losing focus. I look down at my half-taken notes. Shoot, Olivia would probably kill me if she knew. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. The substitute looks at the class film in frustration as she walks over to answer its call. They both mumble back and forth for a few seconds before, "We got an Inker Cog Cheeto in the class?" I raise my hand. The substitute thumbs towards the door. "Office called. You're wanted." Weird. What would the office want with me? "They're going to tell us someone else died." My footsteps echo on the hard, cool tile on the way to the principal's office. I heard once that they made the halls of the faculty offices longer on purpose to scare you, though that may just be from an old comic strip. The effect was there, however, as each of my reverberating steps sent a spike of unease through my core. When I finally stood before the principal's office, the feeling of unease peaked. Oh, fuck. Slowly I opened the door and inched myself inside. The principal was sitting behind a disorganized desk blanketed with numerous sheets, and between me and her, Mia and Ben, looking back at me from their own chairs. "You wanted to see me, Principal Scaler?" "Yes, Mr. Nito, there's some matters we need to discuss." She motions to the third chair in front of her. I take a seat as instructed next to Ben, who's more or less acting as a personal barrier between me and Mia. "Mr. McKnight has informed me that there was an incident between you and Miss Moretta earlier this month. One in which school property was severely damaged." "Yeah, it was near the start of the month, so why now?" I look at Ben and Mia. "I'm sorry there were more pertinent issues at the time, Inko. I had to keep pushing this back to handle things like the audit paperwork and..." An excessively heavy breath leaves Miss Scaler's mouth. "You should have given me the reports for this as soon as it happened." Miss Scaler looks at Ben as he frowns. "This needs to be resolved by the end of the day, Benjamin." Her tired eyes turn away. "Please, so that we can finish this as soon as possible." While she spoke, my focus was on Mia, and the smile that crept across her face. "From what Miss Moretta has told me, it was you who instigated it in the first place. Care to explain?" "What?" "Principal Scaler, Mia was the one who..." "We're aware that she caused the damage, Mr. Nito." Oh. The older woman leans forward with pen and paper in hand. "What we need to know is how the incident happened in the first place." "I think we should hear Mia's side of the story first." "Oh, you son of a bit..." "Since she was the only one to inadvertently cause the damage, after all." The red scale girl nods, holding out her hands as she begins. "Miss Scaler, I was just trying to talk with Olivia that day, when out of nowhere, Inko shows up and starts getting on my case. I was trying to tell him that me and Olivia were just working on a project when, bam! He just whips out his camera and blinds me with it." "What? Did she just slap herself in the face with a tail-mounted glitter bomb?" "And because I couldn't see, I kept running into things, even knocking things over. I didn't mean to do that, Miss Scaler. I know I have a temper, and trust me, Ben's been helping me work on it, but you can't blame me for going around with like a headless chicken." She can't be serious. I look to the principal and see that she's just listening to her lie right through her teeth. "And this isn't even the first time he's done this. I've tried talking to Olivia back in September, and he pulled her away. I swear he's been out to get me ever since the first day of school." "Principal Scaler, that..." "Shh!" My jaw slams shut bitterly as the principal denies me the chance to defend myself. Her eyes turn downward to a particular stack of papers atop her desk, carefully scanning one page and flipping to the next. The silence of the room is unnerving as she flips through page after page, finally breaking the quiet by clearing her throat. "Now, Mr. Nito, you can give me your side of the incident." As silence overtakes the room, all eyes turn on me, and I'm considering how to approach the situation. I see Mia in the corner of my eye, along with the subtle fist she raises in warning, recalling how badly she thrashed the hallway that causes a chill to run down my spine. Ben let her speak first. He's trying to play it smart, I think. Maybe he's onto something. I could. If I take the heat for this, maybe Mia will finally leave me and Olivia alone. Actually, yeah, Mia knows the score. If I help her get off the hook, I'd look pretty darn cool. She might even owe me one, assuming the punishment isn't something drastic. I have no side of the incident, ma'am. I give up. It's exactly as Ben as Mia say. I instigated the whole thing. A hushed gasp manages to escape from Mia, but I ignore it and keep talking. I've been dealing with a lot lately. And when she was passing by, I remember when she targeted me in PE on my first day, and I just saw the opportunity. Well, Inko, I'm very surprised. I'm glad you're willing to be so honest and accept responsibility for all this. It shows character. It grinds my soul to a lie and throw myself under a bus, but I nod and smile along. It's for the greater good, after all. Well, then, I also appreciate this show of character, but we're still going to have to lay down the law here. Ben clears his throat loudly to draw the focus back to him. Miss Scaler, if I may, it's clear emotions are still running high. The damage to the hallway will be fixed over the weekend, and nobody was seriously injured, right? People could have gotten hurt, and I get that, but consider the circumstances. Inko is in mourning like the rest of us. On top of losing a teacher, he's lost a mentor as well. Is that not punishment enough? Do we really need to throw the book at the only human student during a tragedy, during an audit? Scaler scoffs and grimaces. I think it would be in everyone's best interest if everyone were just cut some slack. Ben, you know that's not how we're supposed to look at this. She complains, but she's clearly somewhat rattled by the concept. Look, here's what I'm seeing here. Mr. Nito had some grudge against Miss Moretta, which he acted on with the camera flash, and this had the unintended effect of getting her hurt. So the whole thing effectively started with an accident. Yeah, that sounds about right. Scaler turns her gaze to me next. I nod in affirmation. Then Scaler looks at Mia afterwards, her eyes narrowing like daggers. Mia discreetly nudges Mia with his elbow. Oh yeah, that sounds like how it happened. Right. Well, why did none of you come forward about this earlier? Inko and Mia are both friends of mine. They were confiding in me about the situation. They both apologized to each other already. Scaler's glare comes my way once again. You forgive each other? Latican taught us a lot about forgiveness, ma'am. That was good. Scaler's glare twitches back over to Mia. And you, Miss Moretti? Mia stares right back, the gears turning in her head. Mia tries to nudge her discreetly again, but she doesn't seem to take notice. I feel myself start to sweat. I think Mia would rather take the punishment than admit any sort of fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. A wave of relief washes over Ben and I. Scaler looks more frustrated than anything. She leans back on her desk chair and shuffles through some papers. In addition to the report itself, our Latican left behind his account of what happened. In it, he describes Mia's actions as openly hostile and intentional. Can you blame her? She couldn't see anything, and she was in a lot of pain. In either case, it seems both parties are in agreement as to the situation. I suppose that's why Latican didn't mention a motive in his report. Now, I would like to give the benefit of the doubt, especially at a time like this. And given both of your statements, it seems whatever nonsense this was about has been resolved. Still, though, at the bare minimum, I'll have to give you both a day of Saturday detention to help clean up the mess. Afterwards, we'll have another talk to discuss this further. Ah, shoot. Still, this is better than it would have been otherwise. I'm sure Mia is satisfied. She's slouching in her chair pretty hard at this point, feeling completely unthreatened. Principal Scaler dismisses us. Mia skips out without another word, leaving both Ben and I behind. We quickly follow suit, not wanting to bother Scaler anymore. Once we're out in the hall and the door clicks behind us, Mia props herself against the wall beside Ben. So I'm in the clear now? Almost clear. You still need to come in on Saturday, but after that you'll be good. And the meeting after? Don't worry, I can easily make that not happen. And my record? As soon as scrubbed, as good as scrubbed, but I'm pulling some big favors to make it happen. Mia lets out a deep sigh. This is why I love you. Ben's face turns fuchsia in seconds, and yet he's wearing the largest of smiles. Thanks. In a blink of an eye, Ben is now the one up against the wall, Mia looming above him with her hand right beside his head. Oh, just wait till later, Benny boy. What about me? For once, Mia wears a smile without any threat behind it. Yeah. Good work there, monkey boy. Wasn't expecting you to play along so well. It felt like the easiest way to handle things. So you, wanted to take the blame then? I mean, it worked out in the end. That it did. See? But also, there's me extending an olive branch. Both Parasaurs stare at me through as though I grew a duckbill. To you, Mia. I just want to get along. Come again? Mostly, I'd like you to stop harassing Olivia. I think we can work something out. Well, aren't you special? And I mean that in the best way. Self-sacrifice for friendship. Ben could really learn a thing or two from you. Alright, just for you, I'll leave little Miss Grumpy Guts alone. Ben steps towards Mia with concern etched on his face. Mia, you were messing with Olivia? Shut the fuck up, Bluey. No, and now I never will, right? The pink punk turns back to me. Just free coasting to the end of the year and I'll be out of your hair forever. Sounds like a good deal, Inky Boy? I nod in agreement. Yep, that's all I'm asking for. After Saturday, we won't see each other ever again, Mia. My hand is held out to her to seal the deal. See you Saturday, then. Instead of shaking it, Mia slaps my palm hard enough to make the involuntary clap reverberate in the quiet hall. Hiding my pain with a smile, Mia reciprocates with a grin of her own and turns away. Mia saunters off. Ben looks between the two of us. I don't get anything anymore. But I'm glad you're taking efforts to smooth everything over, Inko. Hey, no problem. It's the least I can do. Yeah, and I really appreciate it. You'll be fine with her in detention, right? Sure, totally. I clasp a hand on his shoulder and offer him my fist. He smiles back and reciprocates with a fist bump. Alright, see ya. See ya. Alright, that's a scene change, and I think we're going to stop right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this game in the comments below, and I will see all you know bros later. Peace for now. Bye!